There we go. Okay. It's my introduction today. See how it goes. Ooh, come on, baby. What is happening? Do that. Nice. Okay. Ah. God damn it. Used. Jesus. So it all seems like it's running to fucking restream, dude. Fuck. Wait a sec. Okay. Game overlay. Not that. God, I hate this shit. Hello, life hacks. How goes it? Welcome. Trying to figure out how the F to get chat on the screen for these just chatting streams so I don't have to read messages all the damn time. The problem I'm seeing is that Restream seems to be the most popular one by a long shot, and you have to pay in order to get chat from a Facebook page versus a Facebook user. Like if I was streaming through my personal page, I could get chat, but you have to pay to get it on a page, which I don't even understand. Yeah, I don't either. Fuck. I mean, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do the restream as proof of concept. Open this back up. So it's got this embed in stream. Okay. Hey, yes, okay. So this is the right thing for sure. Copy this into you or OBS Studio or your favorite. I don't know. What you been up to today while I try and figure this out? Where do I paste this? What? Wait a damn second. Hey, say type something real. Wait, hold on. Do I need to? Oh, background color. I don't. What if I don't want a color? Oh, okay. Do. Okay. Whoop. All right, now say something. Oh, look, you're on stream. Okay, well, there is that. Yeah, I mean, that's just Twitch, but seems to work in some sense. Now I just gotta square things up. Wait, where'd you go? What? Okay, give me another egg. Oh, okay. So I don't know why it like this is weird. I think maybe there's just a quick setting I need to. Oh, I figured it out. Okay, hold on. Yes, it is indeed quite excellent. All right. Now it seems like we're pretty good, except for I don't want the messages to go away. Ah, yes. Always show messages. All right. Look at that. We might have actually made this work. My ass hat cat. All right. Hey. All right. Fucking ass. Jesus, she's knocking shit over. Come here. Oh, I know. Particularly this damn cat. Hey, all right. So this is pretty good. We have a functioning chat on stream. I will be curious to see what breed is she? Oh man. Hold on. Hey Heather, what breed of cat is Margot? Yeah, American short hair. Tuxedo type. She says she's nothing special. I fucking agree. Jane, shit! Anyways, and our other cat is a Siberian. Oh, you had one of those? Hell yeah, nice. Okay, I feel like I need to make the font size just a pitch smaller. All right, let's see how this one plays out. Although I guess, do I need to? When I've got like, you know, 2 people in my stream at any given time? Oh, that looks good. I'm gonna move it over a little bit. Just like right there. Okay. The best of your family's cats. Nice. When did you have him? And how old was he? And what happened? Hopefully he just lived a good life and cancer got to him. At what age? Oh, and you know what? Hey, 13 is not the worst. We'll take that. Passed away in 2019. Sorry to hear that. At least it's been some time. I know that helps a little bit. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna have to reorient this. Oh, I'm sure. I can imagine. Where do we want to move this? I think I might need to just limit the height of my chat box. And then, like... Oh. Just move it up. Okay, I feel like that works. Haha! Just kidding. Wait. Why did that kill my chat? Oh, man. So see, that's a problem. Let's do... that and see how that works. Okay. Well, what have you been up to today? Oh, you know what? Maybe I should level this with this. Was at work until 4 p.m.? Nice. Okay. Well, why are we boring, huh? Let's talk about something else then. All right, let me try and level this up. I have no idea how I'm gonna actually level it, given that these are... Oh, I have a fantastic, very convoluted idea. Woo! All right. Because I'm trying to line these up. Oh my god, that worked out perfectly. How do I do these things? Holy... No, don't worry. I'm gonna fix it. I just wanted to level them top to bottom wise. Did you see that? I hit the nail on the head. That was sick. I don't want to use the mouse because then I'll lose a pixel and it won't be perfect, and then I'll quit streaming. Okay, now we match the spacing a little bit off. Please don't make it a floating window. What do you mean? What do you mean by floating window? Is that not what this is right now? Oop. Oh, yeah, no, I definitely am not gonna do that. That'd be ridiculous. Okay, so I kind of like this actually because there's some uniformity here, left to right between these two. And then if you go to this still shows up in the same spot that it would back here. Oh, that's nice. So then I need to fix this so that I have my overlay. Oh yeah, I just gotta make a... Here we are. Okay, so now I just need to make a Stream Deck shortcut for that right there. This is a doors. Okay. I'm still here, by the way. Don't feel like I'm ignoring you. Scene is full cams. Yep. And then, yep. Does it work? Nah, dude. Oh, that's why. Whoops. I can fix this. It is this one. There we go. And then, yep. All right, now does it work? No. Wait. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm working on. Scene. Oh. Ah, here we go. Boom. 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 Oh, I fucked it up. Boom. Okay, now if I do this, watch this. I'll switch back to gaming. Oh, I'm still in the same spot. Amazing. Speaking of which, I know. Look. Amazing. All right. Oh, yes. Just needs it. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, just get in there. Stop it with the damn skipped frames notifications. You're making me sad. Oh, yeah. Just getting in there. Well, so here you have it. Now, I guess, did I put the damn gaming screen up on here? Oh, man, and then I'm going to have to figure out all the restream or the chat box stuff. That's okay. It'd be really cool if she, you know, got in her bed and relaxed here. Come here. Stage 5 clinger, dude. If me pulling my hand away is safe at this point. What? Yeah. Yep. Yep. All right, let's try this. Because if it doesn't work... Oh, whoa. What happened here? Oh. What happened here? Oh, that is a problem. What? Whoa. I am dumb. Hold on. This is... Like, what happened? I must have done something on my... Oh, yeah. Attention hog all day. All day. Okay, let's see if I can get her to come up here and sort of chill with me. She says thank you. Maybe not. No, she did. She's just weird. See? I wish I could move the mic. Can you hear me well enough right now? All right, sweet. That should help just a little bit. Sweet. All right. Have you only had that one cat that you had? Ah, I gotcha. Okay. How many other ones have you had and what kinds? I've never even heard of that. What's the difference between an American short hair and a domestic short? I gotcha. Okay, so Lifehack says an American short hair is a purebred, whereas domestic is not. Yeah, this bitch ain't purebred. She's just a domestic. She's a little trash can. As far as we know, you're just a trash can. She kind of looks like a what? I didn't hear you. Correct. She's a big dumb idiot. He overeats or like eats too fast and throws up. Not all the time, but just enough. Oh, hell, nice. Jeez. Some good reaction and reflex. I bet. Hmm. Across the room. Damn. So cozy right now. Yeah, that's bad timing. That's awesome. What a bamf. Love to fire, that's a bad thing. I mean, unless they just sit there and look at it, then that's cool. I didn't even think about the heat part. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this is my stream today. Shit. I have a feeling I'm going to have to kick her off at some point. Kind of hoping she does it on her own. Oof. That sucks. Coming up on the anniversary. If you give me I'm online that day and you tell me, I'll give you a big old virtual internet hug. There you go. All right, we're in the clear. She heard a spatula or something in the kitchen and away she went. That was a good little cuddle puddle sesh, though. I'll take that. Get my little foot massager thing working again. It's actually really stupid. This thing doesn't work right, so I have to unplug and replug the power cable in order to make it work. I should just like have a trip switch between it at this point. Oh well. Yeah. I mean, it's just an inconvenience, you know. I like because it's got one of those circular little plugs between the power cord itself and the unit. So all I got to do is unplug the little plug from the unit and then plug it back in, just like a fucking router. But you know, could be worse, right? At least my feet are comfy. Yeah. So I got a question for you. What was your, or what? Let me phrase it a different way. What were your primary categories when you streamed? Yeah, exactly. I can indeed. Halo 2. Nice. Holy good old days. Don't do that to me. That was the only one? Okay. I was going to say, like, I, I know I want to do more just chatting, which is a part of why I've been doing that the past few days instead of like just immediately jumping into a game. Um, but like it's I don't know, it's hard to like sit here waiting for people because I want to talk, but you need people to talk to. Streaming Halo 2 Project Cartographer yesterday. Nice. So, can you tell me a little bit about the Project Cartographer campaign? Like, what's that about? Oh, I, I was up so late those nights. Good Lord. Oh, I got you. So, it's still all just the regular Halo 2 campaign. Interesting. Man, I could almost go for some Halo 2 campaign. It's been so long. Might be a fun trip down memory lane. Just let them be on their bullshit. Cats are cats, you know? Never once beaten the game. What? Why not? What are you doing? Ah. Well, shit. What are you playing it on? Okay, so um anyways, I just got distracted by what I was reading. So are you playing on the Master Chief Collection, or is this like like an actual independent install of Halo 2 Project Cartographer? I don't know how that works. Stop. Oh, okay. I got you. Let's look up Project Cartographer. Just updates. Ah. Okay, so you got to buy the game first and then run the mod installer. Gotcha. I wonder, does the networking, like, could the networking sync up between the game itself and like the Master Chief Collection? I'm guessing the answer to that is no, but I figured I'd throw it out there. Okay. I was going to say, if we could do that, like, maybe we could go through the campaign together. Do you have the Master Chief Collection? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh shit! Well, if you wanted to, we could do the Halo 2 campaign together. I'll play it with you in co-op mode. We'll go through it heroic, maybe. Get you that end cutscene. Yeah, I'm playing on PC. I don't even have a console anymore. I mean, we have our PS4 in the living room, but that's it. Oh, and we technically have a PS2 upstairs, but we haven't used that like basically since we got it because it was running real buggy. All right. Sounds good. Oh, fuck. Ruins it. Ruins it. Oh, a rumpf. The hell was that? Well, wait a second. Oh, man. Hmm. Thank you. I don't know about you, but about to end. So go up and okay. Yeah.
Newly elected US President Joe Biden promised to introduce a $15 federal minimum wage once elected, which sparked a renewed debate over the cons of the policy. As I write this, the proposal has been voted down in the Senate, which is extremely disappointing, but shows that Econ 101ism is alive and kicking, I suppose. Since the dawn of time, the USA's federal minimum wage has stagnated or even fallen, as you can see here. In the early 80s, it was around $3 an hour, and despite steady rises in the headline value, it has only kept pace with inflation since then. As this table shows, the ratio of minimum to median wages is only 33% for the US, compared to 54% for my own country of the UK, or 69% for Chile and Costa Rica.
Yo, you know what we got here? We got an elastic product. You know what that means? That means when people can go elsewhere and get their printing and copying done, they're going to do it. You acting like we got an inelastic product and we don't.
In economics, this means the percentage change in one thing because of a percentage change in another thing. Stringer was talking about the change in demand owing to the change in the price of their product. But here, we will mostly be talking about the change in employment owing to a change in the minimum wage. So, an elasticity of -1 means that if the minimum wage increases by 1%, employment will fall by 1%. An elasticity of -0.1 means that if the minimum wage increases by 1%, employment will fall by 0.1%. You can see that the former would be hugely problematic, while the latter could easily be considered a price worth paying for higher wages. Beginning with a famous paper by David Card and Alan Kroeger in 1994, a wave of studies sometimes dubbed the New Minimum Wage Research have used careful empirical techniques to investigate the elasticity of employment with respect to minimum wage changes. Card and Kroeger looked at the effect of a minimum wage change using two adjacent US states, New Jersey and Pennsylvania, in 1992. New Jersey increased its minimum wage while Pennsylvania did not. This is a kind of natural experiment, when a policy applied to one area is not applied to a similar area, and comparisons between the two approximate the ideal of a lab experiment. The argument goes that if two areas differ only in the policy, in this case the minimum wage, any difference in outcomes between them, in this case employment, can be attributed to that policy. Card and Krager phoned fast food restaurants, which employ a lot of minimum wage workers both before and after the change.
God, you're greasy.
What they found was that far from reducing employment in New Jersey, the minimum wage may actually have increased it. The study made quite an impact. Reed Garfield, senior economist of the Joint Economic Committee, commented in 1996. The results of the study were extraordinary. Card and Krager seemed to have discovered a refutation of the law of demand. Economists were stunned. Because of these extraordinary results, they debated the results. Many economists argued that differences between the states were more than simply differences of minimum wage rates. Other economists argued that the study design was flawed. Since this, thousands of papers have been written in the USA and elsewhere on the employment effects of the minimum wage. One of the most pertinent critiques of Card and Krager was how narrow their study was. A single change in fast food restaurants in two relatively small US states should not be generalized to minimum wages everywhere. More recently, the frontier of minimum wage research has been led by people like Aaron Dube and his co-authors. They have mostly followed in Card and Krager's footsteps by taking advantage of natural experiments, but have substantially broadened the number of states they include, as well as the time frame of the studies and the depth they go into estimating the effects. For example, in a 2010 paper, Dube, Lester and Reich found no employment effects of the minimum wage using 316 adjacent pairs of states. That's Card and Krager times by hundreds.
My God, I don't even know what that is.
Nobody does.
A 2019 paper by Cengiz, Dube, Lindner and Zipera estimated the effects of minimum wages on the entire distribution of jobs, using 138 different minimum wage changes in the USA. The x-axis here shows the part of the wage distribution we're in, relative to the minimum. 2 means it's $2 higher than the new minimum wage. The y-axis shows the effect on employment at a given part of the wage distribution. Just below the minimum wage, 0 on the x-axis, a substantial number of jobs disappear, as shown by the negative blue bar, which makes sense as it's now illegal to employ people at that wage. But this is offset entirely by the appearance of jobs at or above the new minimum wage, as shown by the positive blue bar to its right. There are no effects anywhere else in the distribution, so this gain in wages for low-income workers is not offset by other workers losing out. The same paper looks at these effects over the long term, and it shows that the new jobs which appear do not disappear after a few years. I favour this type of natural experiment approach. It's transparent, and the core of close comparison between pairs of real
One thing that's really important to keep in mind when we talk about like wage impacts is and I notice they do this a lot when they go back and forth on the Seattle studies for how those wages have impacted new workers. I think it's really important that we disaggregate workers from each other to make sure that you're not positively impacting some section of the economy while dramatically negatively impacting some other section. So for instance, I think that it's pretty well understood that as long as minimum wages aren't set too high, generally they have favorable impacts. However, even in those cases, even if on the aggregate wages paid to certain workers are higher, and even if on the aggregate employment seems to be either equal or boosted, the problem that you run into is that you start to disproportionately impact more narrower sets of workers. So for instance, workers with only high school education tend to lose out on these deals, and then more educated workers or people that are doing better socioeconomically already are getting like bigger gains with the minimum wage boost. Tends to be the arguments that I hear.
regions keeps the method grounded in empirical reality, instead of blinding us with complex statistical methods. But I should say that it's not the case that every study has found no effect like this. There are dissenters within this literature, specifically economists like David Newmark and his co-authors. Overall, though, most systematic meta-analyses find a small but statistically significant negative elasticity of employment with respect to minimum wage changes. Having said that, these studies also show evidence that there is a bias towards publishing negative estimates. Why that's the case, I'll leave you to figure out. So, how does one make sense of such a vast and tricky literature? Well, not the way the CBO does it. To give you some background, the Congressional Budget Office is an official but non-partisan entity in the USA, which produces research on important policy topics. Their recent report claimed that raising the minimum wage to $15 would lead to 1.4 million job losses, a pretty concerning figure. Where did they get their estimates from? Vorsch said that he'd have to get
something else that I also take issue with so far. Now, it's possible he'll address other things I've said, is, again, when we're talking about boosting the minimum wage across state lines or whatever, when we're doing these comparisons between control cities and whatnot, the 15 an hour minimum wage bump is huge. Huge. Like, if I were to say, like, is drinking 20 gallons of water bad for you in one day, and then somebody were to start flooding me with studies showing, like, well, look, increased water consumption is good. When these people drink more water, it helps. Actually, you're totally wrong, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, hold on. Like, we're not talking about just increase in consumption of water. We're talking about a dramatic increase of consumption of water. I don't know if these other studies are necessarily valid. I don't know if it's valid to look at prior, like, small bumps in minimum wages between different states and say, like, oh, well, look, 15 an hour should be fine, right? Because then at that point, we could theoretically argue for 25 an hour or 35 an hour or 50 an hour, right? I think we need like more, to see more dramatic increases in minimum wage. It's like, I think the Seattle study is good, although even that isn't as dramatic as what's being proposed. Aren't all these changes only like $1 a year per less? I think it's within $2 a year. We looked at that New Jersey one at one point for the fast food. I don't remember what the increase in the minimum wage was, but yeah, it's nowhere near the dramatic level that the 15 an hour stuff is.
Textbook out to understand this debate. I'd hate to be the reason that anyone had to read an econometrics textbook, so let's save him from having to do so. Uh-oh, too late, bruh. The first thing to say is that this report was kind of opaque, even for someone who is used to reading this type of thing. It's full of phrases like CBO concluded and in CBO's estimation, often with little to no explanation. They select 11 studies from the literature, but why these 11 were chosen is not explained. The CBO then computes the effect of minimum wages on employment from an average of the 11 studies. But they increase the magnitude of the actual average because of a really weird thing they do where they randomly drop some of the studies they use and recalculate the average with those studies missing. I don't know why this method is chosen or how it really works because, again, it isn't explained. Jube himself has commented to similar effect, though in more measured academic terms. He says the CBO overemphasizes the negative estimates in what we already know is a literature biased towards finding negative estimates. He points out that more recent, better quality research has found employment elasticities of the minimum wage closer to zero. As an alternative, he suggested his own 2009 review for the UK Treasury. This only includes studies which estimated the effect on employment for the same workers whose wages are increased by the minimum wage, which gives a clear picture of the trade-offs faced by the workers actually affected by the policy. This is known as the own wage elasticity. Along the y-axis is the study. The dots represent the estimated effect size for that study, with the bars either side of the dots representing the uncertainty surrounding that estimate. Jube concludes that, based on this review, the average elasticity is minus 0.04, meaning that a 25% increase in average wages for a group affected by the minimum wage should reduce employment by 1% for that group.
Also, I feel like this elasticity, I don't know if there's, I would hope that like people that do econometrics probably would know this, but that elasticity is probably going to be a function and not just an integer. What the fuck am I thinking of? F of x equals 5. What would you call that? Like, like your elasticity is constant. Yeah, Jesus. Your elasticity is probably going to change depending upon how far away you move from whatever your baseline value is. It's part of basic elasticity theory. Okay, good. So, like for instance, like I can probably demonstrate a very low a very low elasticity in a product at very low price changes. So for instance, if we start with $1 for a can of Coke, the difference between like the demand for Coke at $1 versus $1.05, the elasticity is probably going to be very, very, very low, I would imagine. But once we start to move further and further away, I imagine that value is going to start to change more dramatically. That like if we increase it from $1 to $1.10, it's going to change between $1.10 to $1.20 or $1.20 to $1.50. That elasticity is probably going to grow a bit and then slope, I guess. How would that look on a graph? What if I had to like guess what this curve would look like? I guess it would look like probably something like this or whatever, where like if this is our elasticity here, I don't know if there's like a textbook on this, I'm sure, but like I imagine that like little changes right here probably wouldn't matter much. But as you start to change, it's going to get like, the elasticity is going to grow significantly until it like tapers off here, whatever. That would be like my guess. I say that would be my guess, but I'm almost positive that's what would happen, right? An S curve, sure, okay.
There's a lot of debate over whether $15 an hour is enough, and Jube also comments on how high the minimum wage could be. Across US states, the best evidence suggests that the employment effects are small, up to around 59% of the median wage. Evidence using sub-state county level variation found this to hold even in lower wage counties, where the minimum stood at up to 81% of the median wage. Research conducted for this report also finds that in the 7 US states with the highest minimum wage, where the minimum is binding for around 17% of the workforce, employment effects have been similarly modest. Now, to return to demand and supply. Strictly speaking, this evidence alone doesn't contradict the supply and demand model. It could just imply that the curves have a specific shape, albeit an unlikely one that contradicts other evidence. I'll provide a reference for that below. But here's my bottom line. When effect sizes are this small and uncertain, it's suggestive of something that's just not that interesting, whether theoretically or politically. As the economist Thomas Leonard pointed out, this whole debate does prompt the question, what evidence would convince you that your theory is refuted? Let me illustrate this with one more recent study. This shows a bunch of different elasticities for 16 to 19-year-olds, the group most likely to be affected.
I'd also like to say, too, that like when an economist uses like a model like supply and demand, I would hope, okay? And maybe economists are really fucking stupid. Maybe we're all smarter than economists, right? Would hope that when an economist uses a supply and demand curve for things like employment, it's not literally like our graph isn't literally going to be called U.S. employment. Here it is. This is the whole supply demand for all of the, right? the supply and demand is going to be like relevant. It's going to be incredibly localized to different sectors of the economy, right? That like your quantity demanded of labor is going to change significantly based on our locality, like what cities we're on our industry, based on what types of jobs we're talking about, on the types of workers we're talking about, right? Like, so these supply demand curves probably still work pretty accurately, but they're going to be incredibly localized to different areas. It's not like we just draw one giant fucking aggregate supply demand curve for the entire US fucking economy, right? That would, if people do that, it would be incredibly fucking stupid. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah.
By the policy. As you can see, in most cases the blue horizontal lines cross zero, which is given by the red vertical line, indicating that the effects estimated are not statistically distinguishable from none at all. As a contrast, consider a more straightforward question. What is the effect of the minimum wage on wages themselves? This might seem tautological, but if the minimum wage is low or is not properly enforced, we may not observe an effect. Unlike our previous figure, the estimates here are universally positive and statistically distinct from zero. This is the pattern one would expect to observe when the relationship one is estimating is strong and reliable. The minimum wage effects do not look like this. Higher labour costs as a result of the minimum wage are obviously a thing, but employers often have more bargaining power than workers, so they can afford it. Increased pay can motivate workers, leading to higher productivity. It can make them more likely to stay, reducing turnover costs from hiring and firing. And at the economy-wide level, the minimum wage increases the spending power of workers, which will increase...
Okay, you know what I would like to see done as an experiment? Just in one place.
Savvy, D, $10. This guy's completely ignoring dead weight loss. The cost of a deal not done. The hire not made kitten to incurring cost. Also, businesses on average don't stop growing, they change their priorities.
Well, I imagine that we try to account for that with unemployment, right? If we're increasing the unemployment, then we're probably talking about people not hired generally, right? Something that I would like to see done, just tried as a mass experiment in some huge firm or whatever. I wish that there was like a combination of like hourly wage plus like wage for jobs done. Because I guarantee you, in every single fucking job in the United States, there's a lot of people that just fucking lazy about, because why the fuck would you work any faster when you're not getting paid anymore? Like, I know that at the casino, like when you're assigned like certain tasks for like restaurants, like there are some things that you could do them in like fucking 5 or 10 minutes, but like, why would you? Why would you bust your ass and bust tables hard, like wrap silverware quick, do your prep work fast? Like, fuck no. Like, you know that you can spend about 2 hours doing, prep for the kitchen. Like, fuck it. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Why would you bust your ass and do it in 20 minutes, right? I wish that there was like some type of like payment per task or something, that a system like that would be tried out, because I feel like you could take certain workers that work 40 hours a week, pay them their same wages, but they could work 20 hours a week and do the same amount of work. I know this is the case. I wish that there was like more, like a drive towards this in the economy or something. Like, Jesus, fuck. Yeah, because if you work harder in most hourly jobs, that means you just get more shit to do. You don't get a break. Like, if I'm assigned to do some task for 2 hours and I get it done in 1 hour, I don't get to jerk off for an hour. They give me some other shit to do. Like, the fuck? What the fuck is the point of that? Like,
demand for businesses. I'm happy to debate the importance of these different effects, but the standard economic approach only helps us with the tiny part of them, if at all.
Fired.
And arguably, the effect on employment is so
yeah, or the worst case scenario is your supervisor's like, oh, well, no more work to do. Time to send you home early. It's like, wait, I got bills to pay, motherfucker.
uninteresting that it's distracted us from other questions, such as the effect of the minimum wage on mental health or poverty. So now we know that the minimum wage just doesn't have the kind of reliable negative effect on employment we'd expect if the theory were useful. But now I want to talk about another, similar...
Okay, so again, I just want to qualify. Now we know that minimum wage set close to what price floors we'd already imagine are, or the price floor that's set close to what the natural minimum wage would be, it has little effect. That we haven't proven that a 15 an hour minimum wage wouldn't have that effect, right? The closest he got was when he talked about when median wages are set at 59, or when a minimum wage is set to 59% the median wage, which nationally would work out to around 12 an hour, I believe, or like 11.59 an hour or something, or something like that. It wouldn't be 15 an hour, but...
Prominent example, rent control. It's no secret that both house prices and rents in many countries have skyrocketed over the past couple of decades, especially in Anglo countries. Housing is probably the main cost for most people, so this has prompted questions about whether governments should do more to help people cope with these costs. The most direct policy to do this would be rent control. Rent control isn't a hugely popular policy, although it exists in a few countries and localities. For example, New York City, as discussed by the Friends in the popular sitcom, Friends.
But more important, because of rent control, it was a friggin' steal.
In their debate on housing, philosopher Ben Burgess and streamer Destiny also discussed the policy.
Rent control is like, it's like $14.90, not 11. I'm almost positive it was around $12. We looked this up. Deduce random. If you want to link a source for it, go for it. Or we can just do the math, I guess. The median wage in the U.S. is $35,977. So if we times this by 0.59, and then we divide that by 12, so this is $1,700 per month, and then in a month you work 40, like about 160 hours divided by 160 is around $11 an hour. So it's lower than what I estimated. I'm citing no opinion. I don't really like what he's written on minimum wage much. But I mean, we can literally do the math on this now to figure it out. I made you link something and then you got muted for it. Good meme.
One of these few issues that economists broadly agree is a garbage policy. It doesn't help who we want it to help. It usually hurts who we want to help, and it just doesn't usually get what you want done.
Destiny was correct. Opposition to rent control is possibly the area where economists agree the most. A 1990 poll had 93.5% agree that a ceiling on rents reduces the quantity and quality of housing available. A 2012 poll asked for economists' views on the statement, local ordinances that limit rent increases for some rental housing units, such as in New York City and San Francisco, have had a positive effect over the past 3 decades on the amount and quality of broadly affordable rental housing.
I'm really curious why he shows the IGM polls on this. These are the IGM polls, aren't they? They are. Why does he show the IGM polls on this, but he doesn't show the IGM polls on the 15 an hour thing? That really makes me wonder. Because on here, 50% or more of economists agree that 15 an hour would increase unemployment, and that it should be pegged at something different. I wonder why he didn't show the IGM polls on the minimum wage thing, but he did for rent control.
Have used them. 81% of economists disagreed or strongly disagreed with this statement, with answers including, next question, does the sun revolve around the earth? Unless all the textbooks are wrong, this is wrong. The planets are lined up here. Theory and evidence point in the same direction. The award for the strongest statement about rent control, however, goes to the economist Assar Lindbeck, who claimed, in many cases, rent control appears to be the most efficient technique presently known to destroy a city, except for bombing.
Oh, we've read
To understand
this.
where all this strong opposition is coming from, let's return to our supply and demand diagram. Instead of the market for labor, we are now looking at the market for houses. Apparently they work in exactly the same way. We have rents on the y-axis instead of wages. We also have quantity of houses rented on the x-axis instead of employment. Again, the supply and demand for houses should balance, with rents at R star and quantity at Q star. What does rent control do in this situation? It's represented by the horizontal line RC, which forces rents down. At this low rental rate, the quantity of houses supplied is lower than the previous equilibrium.
Bob Savvy, D, $5. I don't agree with MW, but why are you leftists not recommending a tiered wage by age adjusted for inflation?
I don't think I qualify as a leftist. I don't really like minimum wage that much at all. I think there should be other forms of cash transfers. So things like the earned income tax credit, like not deductible, refundable tax credits, I think are way better ways to target this type of policy. I think minimum wage is just way too like broad a hammer. You're just swinging around like a sledgehammer trying to fix a much more nuanced problem.
Even though more people want to rent, we have a shortage and a fall in rented units compared to the free market. I want to say outright that there is more evidence for the predictions of the supply and demand model for rent control than for the minimum wage, depending on how you interpret it. But the blanket opposition to rent control that derives from this is hugely overstated, and Econ 101 reasoning is, again, more of a hindrance than a help for understanding the debate. First, what does it mean for the quantity of housing to be reduced? I would contend that the supply-demand model can mislead people into thinking that the reduction is in housing supply, rather than the number of houses specifically used for renting. The 1990 poll mentioned above failed to distinguish these two clearly, and in the debate with Destiny, Ben Burgess largely accepted this framing, contending that you could compensate by building more housing.
Because if we just have rent control, there's going to be far less investment in private housing. There's going to be far less private housing built. But if you're building a lot of public housing to make up the shortfall, then it's literally you could accept your premise. You could accept what the economists are saying and still think that it's just irrelevant to that package of policies.
Why not just
Undefined this has joined
Building more
the
housing is good,
liberal
but a
nation.
reduction in rental housing doesn't mean that houses disappear. There may just be a corresponding rise in ownership. Our concern is surely whether people are getting the houses they need, not whether they're renting or owning them. We can have a debate about the relative merits of renting versus ownership, and which demographics are more likely to use one or the other, but it's not immediately obvious to me which is more desirable. Second, rent control captures a wide variety of different policies. The standard demand-supply analysis only depicts a straight-up cap on rents, whereas modern rent control just limits increases and allows for inflation in landlords' costs to encourage maintenance. Such provisions are common and common sense. For example, if you're worried about rent control discouraging construction, exempt new buildings, like Berlin. Recently, a Bloomberg...
There's a whole... Well, he might be... Yeah, maybe he's about to talk about that. Hold on.
Hi Destiny, I started watching your content about a year ago and I just want to say that I really appreciate you and your honesty regarding your thoughts and stance on topics.
Wow,
I
thanks.
used to be far right, now more centrist. Much love, my man.
Thanks, buddy. The problem with rent controlling like buildings before that were constructed before a certain date and then making all the newer construction to be exempt from the rent controls is that you cause like a huge explosion of cost or price of those
Nordic
later
Boop.
buildings as well.
Hello. Oh my God. Why is the chat messed up yet again? I thought I fixed this. How are you while I fix this? Hey, back for less. Welcome. Hello, hello. Hey. This is supposed to stay paused so I can say, oh, okay. So we have trolls? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what's happening? I've seen this before. This is oddly familiar. I'm doing well today. Oh, I respond so cautiously. I'm doing well. How are you? Let me see if I can... No, cool. All right. What happened? Hey, look at that. We have names. Oh, and I just... What? 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 No trolls? Okay, good. Because I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. 3 people came in, like right around the same time, like you all just did. I said hi to each one of them. Each one of them said bye. And then they came back in a minute. And then said, okay, I'm back. And I said, welcome back. And then they said bye again. And it was just like, just a little tiny back and forth about nothing. And they left. So, you know, there's that. It does sound like something a troll would say. Do you know each other or what? What's the deal here? Where is this interaction coming from? Okay, let's see if I can... And I gotta fix the audio real quick. Making things difficult. That's something I do all the time. Okay, let's go back here. Oh, right. Technical difficulties. You've been called a mad fister? Whoa. What does that even mean? What is... Please tell me, what is a mad fister? Okay, that works. Kitty, yeah, okay, good. That makes sense then. Where'd you come from? Where did all 3 of you come from? All right, you got to go back over here though. Thank you. I keep trying to hide her butt because she's got like a not great little wound that's healing up still, and it's not the most sightly thing of all time. Okay, Narnia, you're gonna fit in just fine in this damn chat. I mean, like, how did you individuals find my stream? Of all losers to come across, how'd you find this one? Oh, a mad fister can move his or her fists real fast. What about there? Right? His, hers, or their. Pum Destroyer, welcome. I do play guitar. Yes. I have these 2 and my acoustic, which is off in the living room. Also, let me just pull this back up so it's there. Can't imagine the Destiny video sent you my way, but that's pretty cool. If it is. They are also included. Ah, good. Perfect. I like to make my stream all-inclusive. You appreciate the cat? Good. Perfect. Oh, you should have been here earlier in the stream then, because I didn't have the cam or the cat cam on, but she was all up in my lap, all cuddly as shit. Nailed it. Yes, they are Ibanez. All 3 of my guitars are Ibanez. Those are the only ones I'll play. I mean, I'll play other ones, but these are like the only ones I'll buy. Just looking around for people to talk to. Yay. Oh, Jesus. Here I am. Good thing that beer was empty. Okay, so in that case, let me put on some mood music. Nope, not that one. That's the wrong one. Let's get the mood going here. Okay, now we can have a conversation. And we can enjoy the cat all relaxingly. Huh? This is great. This is a top-tier stream, by the way. Underrated AF. So there you go. Anyways, yes, Ibanez guitars and stuff. This one is Margot. Her name is Margot. Yes, there is a second cat, and his name is Teddy. And they are brother and sister by adoption. And they're best friends and worst enemies. And they love us all to death. You have an Ibanez guitar. What model of Ibanez do you have, Nordic? I want to know. Yes, indeed adorable. You will catch the occasional adorable segment of the stream every once in a while. Most of the time, she's just chilling right here when she does come into the room. But sometimes she's like particularly horny for some attention, and then I'll pick her up, bring her over to Papa, and let her have some cuddles. And yes, cats do just be like that. Say hi. Say hi. That's all you're going to get, I feel like. Doo-doo-doo. Yep, she's a little either American or domestic short hair tuxedo cat, which we established earlier today. She's got like literally nothing but love in her body. That's the only thing, and a little bit of stupidity. You have an RG series, all right? Yeah, I mean these are both RGs. This one's an RGA. This one is an RG 420GK, which is a Roland limited edition from like 2003 or 2004. Good luck finding one. They don't exist. So this one, here I'll point. There we go. This one was my first electric, and I will never get rid of that damn thing. This one I just got within the past couple years, and it's one of the ones that has the through neck with the 5-piece, and it's like the blue is so sweet. I can grab it real quick if you want to see it. But I also love the aesthetic that it creates in this area of the room. Yeah, you want to see it? Here, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab it real quick. Also, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Also, just so you know, just so everyone knows, my name is Viper at Law, and the reason it is at Law is because I'm a lawyer. So, hey, thank you for the follow. Back for less. You better be back for more at some point. Tell you what. I have words for Pum Destroyer. Welcome, and thank you for the follow. Holy, what do you... Okay, Mr. Mihi, listen, now you're just bandwagoning, all right? Now it's a little bit excessive. Thank you, all for you. Welcome. Anyways, so back to my little tiny spiel. Before I forget, because I'm practicing this, okay? So I am a lawyer, and I am on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, 4GB. Welcome. Hello. All right, let me get through my spiel. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, all Viper at Law. So find me on all of them. Follow me on all of them. Okay? Make me famous. Not rich necessarily, but just make me famous. And that'll be great. Your name would be back for more if it wouldn't be already taken. Yeah, fair enough. I like it this way though. It's a play on the phrase. I think that's fun. Okay. With that said, let me get my feet out of this foot massager. Welcome back, Life Hacks, by the way. Okay, let me grab that guitar real quick. How long have I been into law? Well, that's a great question. I don't know exactly when I got into law specifically. No, I can't shred. I mean, I can play melodic stuff, but I am not a shredder. And part of the reason I am not a shredder is because I had an incident. I don't know if you can see this, but like I had a real bad knife incident number of years ago, and I like severed the nerve in my index finger, and it actually fucked up the way my fretting hand works. So I don't think that in all of my years of trying to build up the speed, I have the capacity at this point with how my hands work to be like a full-on sweeper and stuff like that. But yeah, it does suck. But you know what? Hey, shit happens. Life is life. At least I can still play in some decent capacity or respect. Better than nothing. So this is my favorite part of this guitar. Just that full-on through neck. Whoop, there we go. And let me tell you, thing resonates super well, even with dead stock Ibanez pickups in it. Super well. So there's that. Oh yeah, it's definitely nice to play. So this one is my my broken string RG 420. This is the Roland one that I've had for years now. And this is a new plate that I had to put on because I broke the other one because it was plastic, which was dumb. And let's see. See that rash mark real bad right there? I actually used paint to touch it up. Same things up here. You know, things happen. I know I could probably use acrylic or something to like fill it and then polish it and level it or smooth it and make it so you can't see that stuff anymore. But I kind of like the reminder of some of my more reckless days with guitar. Yeah, there you go. I still have more guitar, like more Ibanez guitars specifically that I want. But you know, it's a in due time type of thing. Another thing I did on this one is I built in my own little kill switch for the more Buckethead-esque random riffs. So there's that one. And now you've met my two electric babies. There you go. And they make it look so nice in here. Okay, so what happened? Once again, this is I don't know why it does this, but it's not frequent, which makes it slightly more annoying. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. The craftsmanship that goes into guitars is awesome. I actually have a friend who is also, or whose brother is also a friend of mine that works for Fender in California with building guitars. And you're welcome for showing you the babies. What games do I like to play? Well, right now, the game of choice has been Valheim. That's been very fun. But I also have the Master Chief Collection. I don't play that one that much anymore. I have Cyberpunk that I need to get into, but I'm actually specifically waiting for another viewer of mine to be available to actually watch me play it, because we talked about that. And I also have Borderlands 2. I have Apex, and I've played a little bit of Apex, although I'm not fantastic at it because I am sub 1 year with mouse and keyboard. So trying to jump into a sweaty game, not great. I'm getting there, but no promises. You play Valheim sometimes. That is awesome. You would be more than welcome to join our server at some point if you ever want to. We've already done all 5 of the currently existing elder bosses. So now we're just sort of building and having fun. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome for sure. And I agree, Valheim is great. Cyberpunk's still buggy as man. See, I guess I just got to keep waiting. You're gonna have to keep me posted. Just started on mouse and keyboard. Yeah, so it wasn't as bad of a transition as I thought it was gonna be. But I mean, in terms of like an FPS, especially with how sweaty FPSs are nowadays, yeah, I mean, you kind of need to be adept with whatever control you're using. Like to play Overwatch? I've never played Overwatch. Let's see. I'm gonna run through the rest of the list real quick. I have Among Us. So if anyone ever wants to play Among Us, yeah, the transition exactly. Like especially for a fast-paced FPS, that transition, man. I tell you what, like I'm a Halo guy from like all of the old Halo games, and I always played on controller. So I was really good on controller. And then I moved to mouse and keyboard and just dog shit. I mean, it's frustrating actually when you know that like if you had the controls down, you'd be whipping these people's asses. It's just like, I don't know, you got to be patient with it. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Oh yeah, I played all of the Halo games except for like the RTSs and like Spartan Assault because I didn't give a shit about that stuff. I guess it depends. When you're talking about Halo games, for me specifically, the super bounces were tons of fun. But it depends on like whether you're talking about campaign or multiplayer, because I've got different opinions for both of those when it comes to the Halo franchise. Also, are we pumped for Infinite? What's the word on that? Okay, yeah, just the FPS Halo games for sure. At least we're on the same page there. I was controller for like almost 20 years. It was hard to change. Yep. But you know what? I actually started honing my skills with Destiny 2 on mouse and keyboard. The trailer, man, are you talking about the one? Oh man, so you're talking about, yeah, you played Destiny 2? Nice. Yeah, I haven't played that in a few weeks because we've been really digging Valheim, but we could play Destiny sometime too. What was I saying? So the launch trailer where, the guy's in the ship and he finds Chief floating through space, like super cool. I agree with you if that's the one you're referring to. The gameplay reveal that's like the most recent content to come out though. Yeah, like after having seen that, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad they decided to postpone the launch and put some more work into it. I will say that much. And frankly, look, these fucking AAA game studios really need to stop just releasing stuff haphazardly and fast as hell. It's a perfect way to destroy franchises, and I think Halo is a perfect example of that. Yeah, the first trailer was definitely cool. So, in terms of like which was my favorite for campaign, I'm going to take a somewhat uncommon position and say Halo 4 was one of my favorites. I'd say Halo 3 and Halo 4 are basically right there. In terms of multiplayer, 2 and 3. Mostly 2, because the battle rifle going from hit scan to like bullet travel made that gun garbage. So there's that. So Destiny 1 at launch was terrible. However, I enjoyed what it was for what it was, and it continuously got better over its life. The problem with Destiny 2 was on launch, it went backwards from where Destiny 1 finished off in terms of content. Taken King was definitely peak Destiny. Well, that I would say that and like Vault of Glass. There's something that you can't take Vault of Glass away from an original Destiny player. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, see, 4 gig. I mean, release it halfway finished, make profit, update later. That's how it is nowadays. Most of the time, we hope. What I've seen in some respects is release it halfway finished, make profit, maybe update it later. We'll see what happens. That's just, what the hell? Halo 4 was really well crafted overall. I think the balancing of the mechanics in multiplayer was not great. Yeah, which is why multiplayer is still 2 and 3 for sure. You vlogged like 150. Wow, all right. So you're like way more famous than me, right? Jesus. You have to have gained a pretty good following. I did a few music video type things, rock remixes as I called them back in the days, and I got some good attention on those videos, but then copyright just got worse and worse, and DMCA claims were left and right, and I fell out of that one because it wasn't fun anymore. Oh yeah, man, I put like 4,000 hours. Oh, for some reason I saw an L in there. Vault of Glass, got it. There we go. We're all right. We're synced back up. So yeah, Vault of Glass I did a bunch of times. I put like 4,000 hours into Destiny 1, and I had everything on all 3 characters. What a grind. Then I actually stopped playing Destiny 1 when I was studying for the bar the second time around. And like I put my games away entirely for months. And after that, I hopped back on and nobody was there anymore. You know, everyone was off doing different things with different people. And after that, I was like, well, I don't really feel like playing games anymore. So then I went through probably a few years where I didn't really play anything. And it was when I started paying more attention to mental health, like my own mental health, and just understanding more about myself, that I decided, you know what, I kind of miss playing some games, so let's play something. And that was how I got back into it. Oh, I also do play Clone Hero every once in a blue moon. That's a community-made replica or remake of Guitar Hero and Rock Band, where you can put every song that's ever existed into one game, basically. So there's that. I haven't played that in quite a while because usually when I start that up, no one watches. You know, I guess the world is telling me don't have more than one beer. Because I keep leaving it there and then forgetting. Yeah, that's fair. I think nowadays, for me, I do enjoy the games for sure. But what I'm also coming to understand about myself is I need more social interaction, and I don't quite have enough time in my days for what would conventionally be social interaction unless I do something that is not this. And part of what I enjoy about streaming is I have the capability of reaching more people, and I want to interact with more people, partially because I think people are getting worse with one another, and I want to reach more people and spread a positive message that is going to have that broader reach than I could get if I just, went to a damn bar and was trying to talk with random strangers. I might be naive in the ambition, but we're gonna try it out and see how that goes. Trying to get my mic out of the way of chat, so I stopped sitting like right next to the words on screen. Yeah, oh, I mean, no doubt. And thank you. I'm hopeful that this will turn into something that just contributes to my pursuit of happiness in some material sense. And also contribute to other people's pursuits of happiness in a tangential sense, if nothing else. I feel like it's not enough of a conversation just how bad people are at interacting with one another and treating one another nowadays, especially on the internet. Like, it's so easy to make your hot take point and then dip out before you can face any sort of pushback. And I think that's creating a whole bunch of keyboard warriors that just make their point and dip. So it's like, even if you go into a circle that is not your own, you still stay inside your own echo chamber, because all you do is you'll blast your point out real quick and then dip out. So there's no discussion, there's no dialogue there, which is not how people come to agree with your point, generally speaking. Yep, you're right. I think that this past year, for example, you know, since the outset of the pandemic, I think it's been in certain respects the worst, and in other respects the best thing to happen to our generation specifically. I think it has brought a lot of really, really, really important issues to the forefront that probably should have been at the forefront for way longer than they have been. But that's better late than never. So in that sense, I'll take it. Hopefully humanity learns from all of this and grows from it. That's the, you know, that's the fingers crossed moment. But my personal worry is that we've got a long way to go, and it's going to continue to get darker for a little bit before it actually gets lighter. And that's just something we need to be prepared to deal with. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I keep getting distracted by the chat here. I was going through my list of games. So I also have Fall Guys. If anyone ever wants to play like Among Us or Fall Guys just to screw around every once in a while, let me know. We also have Golf It, which is like golf with friends, and we play that every once in a while. I have a friend in chat who makes courses, and we play those courses, which is always a good time because they're specifically designed to irritate me. I feel like he knows the way I respond to the way he designs the levels, and then he continues designing the holes, not the levels, the holes in ways that are going to trigger me. So that's fun. I also have Phasmophobia, but I've only played it once, although I did enjoy it. I have Portal 1 and Portal 2. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, man. We're going to start big-ass Golf It lobbies, all right? Oh, this is good. Oh, Deep Rock Galactic as well. I don't know if any of you have heard of Deep Rock Galactic, but that one's kind of fun. I've played that a few times. And, Jesus, I keep looking at my list and seeing more. Borderlands 2. I was actually playing the campaign of Borderlands 2 for the first time. Skagawagga, welcome. Yeah, DRG is pretty fun. I would still consider myself a greenbeard in that game, but it is fun. I also have Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. I didn't get Borderlands 1. Hey, Thank you for lurking. I am also a lurker, by the way. When I'm not on stream, I'm a lurker by default. Sometimes I'll contribute in chats, but by default, I do exactly what you do. So thank you for poking your head up real quick to say something, but don't feel pressured to say something. So I just appreciate you being here. And yeah, I would absolutely love to add you guys on Discord. So if you want to, here, is this something? I feel like it would be easier if I just pull up my my info. How do I do that? Not that. I'll find it. How do you do this? There we go. Nope. Is it possible to do that? Okay, so for the record, I'm not well versed in Discord. I would like to be at some point. I would like to create my own server as well. But I don't know much of shit about Discord. So let me know what the easiest way generally is to add like multiple people on Discord. If it's something that I can just show in like on my screen, then I'll do that. I don't know. Let me know. Yeah. Yep. So Nordic, to address what you just said, people really have gone through a lot of changes, and I think that's a part of what's contributing to so much of the tension we're dealing with right now. Is it's not to say people haven't gone through changes in their everyday lives before the pandemic, but everything is off routine, and has been off routine in at least some sense for a pretty significant period of time right now, especially for younger people who just don't have that many years under their belt. And when you pair all of that change and all of that broken routine with the mentality that is used to routine, people get irritable and more easily agitated and frustrated, overwhelmed, all these words, anxious, depressed. Anyways, mental health is really being tried as of late. And that's a part of why it's one of the worst and best things to happen. I think people need to pay more attention to mental health and human rights issues and things like this. And, finding out that, hey, if you think about these things, we need a balance between capitalism and socialism, for example. Really a stupid argument to have as to which one of those two is better if you acknowledge that we need both. And I think these are all things that now, for better or for worse, and ready or not, people are being forced to reckon with. And so I think more people should be aware of that and be a little bit more sensitive in how they interact with one another, because it's like the saying goes, smile at everyone because you don't know what they're going through. So I don't know what any of you are going through. I just hope that in any interaction we have, I am of some positive impact, and hopefully that positive impact is greater than any negative impact. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to talk to you more. I mean, we can have Discord calls every once in a while, or I don't know how. For the record, like I've been streaming since November, but I still consider myself to be so new at all of this. So my stream setup and schedule is all subject to change and adjustment. But yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. Is I know that people are going through shit. And if I can talk and be some positive impact, either just through simple text messages and me giving my words of inspiration in chat, or just having an actual dialogue on Discord or something else, I am open to all of that. And thank you, Pum. I agree. I don't always feel like the most positive person frankly, because I have my own dark days too, believe it or not. I deal with my own anxieties because I think too much about everything all the time, and that's not something you can just turn off. And I go through little depressive states every once in a while because, generally speaking, with the nature of my character, I find it really difficult to relate to a lot of people in the real world. So I'm trying to work on that, and one day at a time, I get better at it. But yeah, I mean, if I encountered more people who put the legwork and the effort into having positive and truly impactful conversations with people, that would be refreshing for me as well. I think, especially with people who are mostly on the internet, it's easier and it's more of the default position to try and force people to understand your position before and sometimes without even trying to understand their position first. And my firm belief is that you can't expect someone to understand your position if you don't at least try to understand theirs first. So for me, I disagree with a lot of people on a whole lot of things. But if I hear a take that I think sounds insane, I want to dig into how you got there. I want to try and understand how you got there. Because most of the time, if I understand how you got to your seemingly insane position, the seemingly insane position is a little bit less seemingly insane. Oh yeah, you're super right. Yep. Your psyche does what you allow it to do, for sure. And so, sometimes it just weighs on you regardless of what you allow it to do. And at any given moment, there may not be a clear path to rerouting your thoughts and turning them into more positive things, but it's just something you got to work at. Some people are just permanently happy, and it pisses me off sometimes. And some people are permanently unhappy. And, some of that is external factors outside of their control, but some of it is got to come from within. I'm just, dude. Okay, so my girlfriend is one of those people that is, generally speaking, happy all the time. And I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking tiff, and she's all freaking, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh man, yeah. But it's good because there's a sort of yin and yang there. She helps bring up my positivity sometimes. Sometimes I calm her down and bring her a little bit more to the real world expectations instead of being unduly optimistic and positive in certain situations. It's interesting. We're a good pair in that respect. But she's one of those people that sometimes pisses me off because she's happy. Yeah, I mean, there's that too, yeah. And I'm there with 4 hours sleep. Listen, if I get 4 hours of sleep, I'm gonna rip someone's head off. Okay, and actually, I'm full of shit when I say that. But when I'm sleep deprived, I turn into a zombie. Like, I get quiet. I have no real emotional reaction to things. I'm just like dead to the world. I just want to go to sleep. I think everyone's learning to be more positive. So there's nothing wrong with that. And if I can ever give you a little trick of the trade, I will do so. Not to say that you know or you don't know anything that I know, It's another thing is I try not to make statements that are going to come across as condescending or patronizing. I'm not some fucking genius. I'm just at this point in my life, and you're at your point in your life. So let's talk about it. So here's a fun question. Yes, it is. It's not even just good. It's critical to get other people's views on things. So within the last year, what do you personally believe has been the most consequential event amongst all of them? Because there's been a lot. Oh yeah. Also, start sending me discords, or you can whisper them to me or something. But don't forget that I want to add some people. God, Jesus, what? Okay, I'm gonna move this over again because it keeps cutting off names. That's really making me mad. Oh wait, it's this. Yeah, there it is. Look, we can read your name now. Destroyer. Here it is. Okay. Okay. I don't remember what happened yesterday. That's probably not the worst. Mostly meeting some great people. All right. How did you meet them? Where did you meet them? Are you talking about Twitch? I'm going to shift my camera just a little bit. There we go. No, I don't like that as much because now you can't read the pillow. Not that you can actually like read it really well anyways, but okay, we're going to leave it there. It's fine. Oh. I take it you whispered me? Is that right? Hey, 4GB, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Okay, well. Get this guy out of my face. I'll have to move that too. That's okay though. All right, let me hit up the Twitch real quick. See if I got some stuff. Ah, yes. All right. Ooh, and a friend request. I love friends. Accepted. I met the others who are talking on Discord because 2 of the people waved at me one day on World of Warcraft. Nice. That's awesome. I've never played that game. Okay. Nordic Boop. Get you added on here. Bam. All right. Friend requested. Oh, wait. They waved at you one day on Twitch? Is that what you're saying? All right. Boom. Totally fine. Okay, let me think. What? Oh, Jesus. Okay, I got to get off here pretty soon because I got a normal day of being a lawyer tomorrow, and it's 10 o'clock here. So it is 5 hours ahead, which puts you... Trying to think. I know you're in Europe. Is it France-ish? Or like UK? I'm just hoping I got the time zone right, by the way. Like, the general geographic location is good enough for me. UK, ha, nailed it. Boom, high five to me. Awesome. So I have at least one viewer from France, another one from Poland, another one from Sweden, I think. Yes, thank you. Couple from Canada. I just like, man, the internet is so cool. It's such a shithole, and it's so cool at the same time. You know, here I am talking to people from across the world. Like, what a time to be alive. You know, What a time. Just crazy. That's the thing is, you know, we just listen, as humans, we just need to learn how to navigate this new shit that we've built for ourselves. Ohio, nice. All right. Sounds good, Nordic. It really is crazy to think about. No, yeah, I know. I've got some people in the States, I know. Georgia, nice. Okay. Hey, and she voted in the 2020 election and then the runoffs. I'm just generally curious. Fuck yeah. All right. I don't necessarily need to know which way you voted, but I do. I'm going to throw this out there. I also enjoy talking about politics in a general sense. You voted correctly. Okay, well, listen. People who voted every which direction say that. Now, I happen to know that there's an objective correct this time. Change the. You're a friend. Yes. Okay. That was the correct thing to do under the circumstances. So, congratulations on making the absolutely correct, objectively correct decision. Thank you. Yes, that's one thing. There is a little glimmer of hope there when you see shit like that happen. You know, it's not to say that things still won't or can't get worse than they are right now. And again, my prediction, frankly, is that they will. But it's small stuff like that that makes me realize, okay, we still have some sense of fucking humanity in this country. Well, and my music died again. I'm gonna have to sort this issue out next time. It's a voice meter software issue, and I just don't know what causes it. I wonder if it's no, I don't think it's a sleep mode or anything. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. Good Lord. Why don't you go to sleep? And I thank you. I will do my best to keep that positivity up. And here's the thing. I'm just me. So I'm going to need all of your help to keep up my positivity as well, all right? So let's make this a symbiotic relationship and let's all make each other better. If we can all get on board with that, I think we're in good shape. Haven't worked since November. Oof. Boy, I can't imagine. Yes, teamwork makes the dream work. Exactly. And I hate to do this. I really do. But this is one of those times where I wish I had more time in the day. I got to call the stream here. It's later than I thought it was. Probably because you all came in and distracted me with fun conversation and new people to get to know a little bit. But I'm gonna dangle that carrot on the stick real quick by going offline and making you come back next time. That's how I get you. You're hooked now. Yes. Yeah. And I will definitely check out your... Hey, Skaga, thank you for the follow. Yes. I'm glad to have all of you in here. All right? Thank you. Just don't be shitters and we'll be just fine. And yes, let's work together and change the world. One person at a time. One conversation at a time. I think that's a perfectly valid ambition. All right, sounds good. I'm glad to have all of you as well. I don't know where my stream goes in the future, but all I know is right now, and I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for showing up randomly. Well, because I tell you what, I'm gonna level with you real quick, and then I'll shut up and go offline. I've been feeling just the tiniest bit nihilistic about streaming in the just chatting section because nobody comes in here. You know, you got all the hot tub streams and shit nowadays. So today was a particularly uneventful stream until you all showed up. So thank you for helping me feel better. And with that said,